Hello and welcome to the Tired Witches podcast. I'm Olivia.
I'm Ashley.
And today we are talking all things Devil's Night series with a little bit of extra content sprinkled in. But this is mainly our Devil's Night series focused podcast today, where we go through, we rank, we tier, we rant, we rave, all of the good fun things. Ashley, how excited are you for this episode?
I'm really excited because, for one, I've had a lot of people over on my own YouTube channel ask me to do a Devil's Night tier ranking for years now, so Here you guys go. I'll link it on my other channel, so come over and watch. But I'm super excited. I try to reread Devil's Night every single year, so I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm fully back in my Will Grayson era. It feels great.
Oh, I love being in my Will Grayson era. I mean, Emory Scott, my Devil's Night nails.
So I have a Cricut. I'm actually in the process of working on a shirt that says that.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah, I ran out of red vinyl. I thought red writing would look really cool, so I need to go get some.
Yeah, I like that. That's cute.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it. So, okay, what's on the agenda today, Ashley, is the Devil's Night connoisseur, I guess I will say.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah, and so she's kind of prepared all this fun stuff, and so we're just going to kind of jump right into it, I guess.
Yeah, like I said, we just wrapped up a reread. We did it with our book club. We had so much fun, especially because I will say the first part of the series is really hard to get through, and so just being able to laugh and do that with other people, it made it super, super fun. But like I said, I have been reading this series for a long time. It was my intro to dark romance, so even if they aren't the perfect 4 or 5 star reads as they were years ago, it still holds a special place in my heart because of being that introduction.
I agree with you. I can see the flaws in the series, obviously. Yes, we're going to get into it. But it is still something that I hold near and dear to my heart because while this was not my introduction to dark romance, I think this was one of the first times where I was obsessed with a couple in a series.
Okay.
I just thought were perfect in a dark romance series. Like, obviously, Xaden and Violet, which I read Fourth Wing before I read this. But for dark romance, I have mainly been, like, obsessed with the main male character. And I thought the female main character was like, it's fine. But this was where I was like, oh my god, I'm kind of more obsessed with the female main characters in a lot of these books than the main male characters. So, so it holds a special place there. And obviously, Will Grayson, so...
Yeah, so just like a little side detour about me was I was a huge reader as a kid, right? And then I was your typical got to college, stopped reading. And then I got back into it in my late 20s during COVID. And it was actually historical romances that I was reading first because of Outlander. You were Bridgerton. I know we had this discussion. So, funny enough, it was actually a Penelope Douglas book that was my first, like, contemporary romance outside of historical. And it was Punk 57. Now, Punk 57 is the spin-off to this series. The male main character is Will Grayson's cousin. And the obsession I had with that book, I finished it in like 4 hours, like one night. I mean, I was just like, wow, I need to read more dark romances. And so I immediately read Corrupt soon after. And I just thought, wow, this is so cool. This world building. Like I said, I'd never read a dark romance before. It was something so different. And I like the characters in Punk 57. I loved them right away. So when I found out that they were going to be connected to another series, it was like, oh, I have to check this out. And so I'm so excited that you're going to be reading Punk 57 soon.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about my journey into finding Devil's Night is I started with Rika Fane. So my first dark romance was
so I feel like a lot of people in dark romance or in the book community, you start with Rena or Penelope. Those are the starters. Yeah.
Starting with Rena then led me to Penelope.
And see, I started with Penelope, which led me to Rena.
Exactly. Yeah. So we swapped there. So it's funny because obviously when you love something like that or even Devil's Night, you look for books similar, and then BookTok recommends the same stuff. So yeah, that's kind of how I fell into it, and it's just been an obsession. I own a lot of shirts. I own a lot of merch for it. special editions. Like it's mainly my top book, which we'll get into. This series holds a special place in my heart for sure.
Yeah. This is the series that showed me a yearning down bad. Like how a boy yearns so badly and hurts
like,
for years.
You could say, I love God of Wrath. I don't know, have you read God of Wrath with
Yes.
Jeremy and Cecily? I was obsessed with Jeremy, okay? Jeremy Volkov was one of my top book boyfriends for I was obsessed. But he is still not the level of yearning that Will Grayson is. So
no one is. I feel
Grayson, I was like, I think Hughie Biggs might.
Well, I was going to slide into that. But, like, we've had years without it. I mean, we just got Hughie's POV this year.
Exactly. So I think when I saw that, I was like, I like this. And it's just not, I haven't found anything to top it.
Well, I feel like we are in a really bad epidemic right now where we're not getting yearning in books. And I saw this great TikTok the other day where this creator broke it down, and it's because authors are telling and they're not showing anymore.
Yes.
And since we just wrapped up our reread of Nightfall, there's a great example of this. Emory has this horrible day at school, like at the game. Some chick throws stuff on her. She doesn't like public, like she doesn't like giving attention, any of that. She goes on the bus alone. He sits next to her, doesn't look at her. He holds her hand, puts his coat over her hand, and she keeps noting how, like, with his thumb, he's stroking hers and just making
reassuring her without words.
It's those little things, and we're not getting those in new romances anymore.
I think the problem a lot of books are falling into, and we're seeing kind of this in the Boys of Tommen community. It always comes back to the Boys of Tommen community. Whereas you have someone who is a yearner like Hughie Biggs, and then people hate on his character for it, you know? So people have this expectation now, especially in a dark romance setting, where they expect the main male character to be tough, gruff, and kind of dominant towards the female main character, which I think in Nightfall, there's the perfect balance of Will being dominant and then submissive as well.
Yeah.
And that is what we mean by yearning. We want them to be dominant when they're dominant, but we also want them to be submissive when it comes to their girl, right? And I feel like the only two people that have come close to that is Will Grayson and Hughie Biggs. And then authors are afraid to write those type of characters because it's not popular these days. Kind of like,
which is wild to me, because I just want to point out how popular Johnny and Shannon's plotline is, and he is arguably yearning for her most of that because she's keeping a lot of herself hidden.
Yeah.
So why is it okay for Johnny?
But it's not okay for Hughie.
Because Johnny loves Shannon and Hughie loves Lizzie. That's what it boils down to. It's who they love.
Yes.
It's exactly
it's who the female main character is.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Because if you put a certain redhead in Lizzie's position, everyone would eat it up. If you swapped the roles and Lizzie was the other woman, people would eat up Hugh's behavior. Eat it up.
Yep.
So it is what it is, unfortunately. But yeah. We'll get into our little Boys of Tommen rant later.
Yeah, we include Boys of Tommen in every episode, it'll be there, trust me. But let's get into the fun part, our tier ranking. Let me bring up our screen here. Alright, so we have our core 8, plus Aiden and Alex, because they do have a larger role. I included the main books and the novellas. I included the flashbacks, because I love talking about flashbacks, especially Nightfall's flashbacks. They are elite. I also included all of the group sex scenes, because for whatever reason, Penelope thought it was important to each story. So I thought we could rank those as well. And so yeah, let's just have a fun time. So let's just get this out of the way. I'm putting Will at superior, so I'm sure you, okay.
Not an argument there.
No, yeah, okay.
Not an argument there. We might as well also get it out of the way. You can throw Damon Torrance up there. Superior too.
Yes, but I'm putting him behind Will, just because Will
obviously. Yes.
Okay, so how we'll do this is we will just go in order of the series. So let's just start with Corrupt as a whole. Well, actually, let's break it down. So let's go with Michael. I have issues with how I want to rank Michael because I like Michael as a side character. Like, especially in Hideaway. But I don't like him as a main character. So that's why, like, I don't want to put him at the bottom. So I'm thinking middle. What do you think?
No, I disagree. I think he needs to go at the bottom. Because his scenes as a side character do not make up for his own book, right? So him as a main character, we have to think of more so because he has a whole book dedicated to him. Okay, we can't then excuse the behavior or the actions here or how he's written here just because he has a few good scenes in the other books, right? I think overall this is what our introduction to him is, and this is our first impression, and that's the most important thing. And my first impression is not good.
I still would put him over other people, which is why I'd put him at this C.
I put him at C.
I don't think he's D for sure. I think that's why.
Yeah. I wouldn't put him at B. He's not a B either in my.
No. I wouldn't put him at B, but I think that's why I meant lower middle.
You said middle, and I was like, I'm not putting that motherfucker in B.
Yeah, lower.
About that, I was like, there's
lower middle.
No shot I'm allowed.
Okay, and now Penelope's favorite, Rika Fane, aka Rika.
I have such a hard time with this because my gut is screaming to put her at D. But there is a female character I hate more than her. So when you have me saying I'd rather have more Erica, I'm like, do we put her at a C?
We put her at C above Michael. Because I still think she's better than Michael. Are we really going to put Michael above her?
I prefer Michael's interactions with the other people than Erica's interactions with the other people. To be honest with you.
Oh my god, I feel like I should have made 2 lists. One for you, one for me.
I know, we should. Because I feel like her interactions with the rest of the gang is gag-worthy and not in a good way. Whereas he's tolerable. I like him with the other characters. So, to me, that means she goes below Michael.
Okay, I'll put her there for now. We might change it as we go. So, here's the thing, you guys. My problem with Rika is the way that she basically becomes Taylor Swift of the series. Like, she becomes, like, everybody loves her, the untouchable. Like, why are we making a 21-year-old a mayor? It makes absolutely no sense. Now, I understand in the plot, they want to take over Thunder Bay. They want to make it their playground, but making Rika the mayor, I'm
making her the central focus in other people's books is a big problem.
That was a huge problem for me.
That is why Michael.
It was the Rika show. It was the Rika show. So in Conclave, the novella. That novella is set up to discuss where Will is, and majority of it is Rika's POV and her dealing with a crisis. Now, I will say her crisis was, I'm not dismissing that, but still, why did I need... I mean, it was just another excuse for another Rika POV.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll put her there, I guess. Okay, Corrupt's flashbacks. I would say I liked the flashbacks. I think it does a good job of setting it up. Because the foreshadowing for Damon and Will was great. It's there in that book.
I'm going to be kind and say a B. I'm going to be kind about it. Because it is still, number one, Erica and Michael, who I can't stand. But number two, they're kind of cringe-worthy. That scene where they come into the school and the music is playing.
Absolutely. I'm talking more, I guess, about the events of that night, because those events are what sends them to jail. And you find out later that, you get Damon's POV of what he was doing and stuff like that. So that's why I don't think storyline-wise, Corrupt has bad flashbacks. So I would say B.
Yeah, I agree. B.
B, okay. Michael, Rika, Kai in the sauna room.
That's a D. That's a D. That's a D for me. It's a D.
Okay, so here's the thing. We need to talk about this because it's brought up again with another group of people. So the whole reason that this threesome happened is because Kai was having a hard time connecting with people since he got out of prison. The problem is it didn't really resonate as well as it did with Will, who was, broken. And also there were differences of, Damon being like, you keep things outside.
Exactly.
Whereas Michael just didn't care. So every time I reread Corrupt, I skip right over this scene. So yeah.
Me too. Can't tolerate. Can't stand the scene. I think it's unnecessary. It
was my first group sex scene. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I think it's used to prop up Rika again, instead of focusing on the healing it's supposed to be providing for Kai. And then, once again, I cannot tolerate that Michael allowed Kai to stick things where they shouldn't be stuck to his girl. No,
absolutely. Okay, so Corrupt as a whole. I'm
gonna go C.
See, but here, where are we putting it? Below Michael and Rika? In the middle of Michael and Rika? Above Michael and Rika?
I put it above Michael and Rika because it's still overall an introduction to the overall Horseman story.
Okay.
And so it's more important than Michael and Rika.
Okay, true. All right, let's move on to Hideaway. Where would you put Kai?
Oh, gosh, it's so hard because when I first read Hideaway, you guys, I really did love Kai. And I did love Banks' story, right? Banks is one of my favorite female main characters. However, I still think they make Kai so obsessed with Rika that it's a detriment to his own story, okay? I'm going to put him at B because he's a better character, hands down, than Michael and Rika, but he still is very Rika-centered, and that's a problem for me.
What do you think in terms of, is he above the Corrupt flashbacks?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Because the flashbacks still provide a better overall understanding of the story. So, yeah. I'd rather read the flashbacks than...
Yeah, no, I agree. Nikova Banks, A.
Yeah, she's.
I really like her.
I love my girl Banks. My girl Banks. Yeah, love her.
I want to start with just. I think Penelope did a great job at introducing Banks because I feel like it's not. Whoa, where did this come from? Yeah. It's like, I had never read any, and still to this day, I don't think I've read any kind of story where a sibling is kept a secret like that.
Oh, I know, and for years, hardcore kept secret.
Yeah, and I find it really fascinating, to the point where, she was getting her education by doing his homework and stuff like that, and I still to this day, I haven't read a book like that, and so the fact that she took over the Torrance dynasty, it makes sense.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's a perfect...
She was always pulling the strings, so I have no problem putting her at A.
I agree.
Okay, so the Hideaway flashbacks. So I like the Hideaway flashbacks. My problem, though, and I told you this when we did this live, is I feel like Banks and Kai are kind of separate from everybody else because I feel like the six of them kind of had this main connection with that one Devil's Night, whereas in Corrupt, we have it foreshadowed. A woman wronged Will. And Damon had sex with a girl who he probably shouldn't have. Who was too young. We got all that. We had no indication about Kai with someone. Nothing.
Yeah.
Him just thirsting after Rika.
The flashbacks, in my opinion, are not as important to the story as Corrupt's flashbacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Corrupt's flashbacks provide context to all of the Horsemen, and other characters like the Emory Scott, like the Winter.
Yeah, and Hideaway's flashbacks are important to Damon's story, which is wild for Kai's book.
Yeah.
I said this the first time I read the series. I thought Hideaway was just one big setup for Damon.
Yeah. Well, considering...
Because, I mean, I've told you before, I like the plot of Hideaway. I'm just not sold on the couple and the chemistry.
I'm not sold on the execution of what is put in the book. And it mainly has to do with the inclusion of unnecessary characters like Rika butting into the relationship. And to me, it's just so unnecessary.
Yeah.
That it completely ruins the entire chemistry that Kai and Banks are supposed to have. Because it still comes off that Kai would put Rika above Banks a lot of the time in the book.
Oh,
and
for sure.
That's a problem for me.
So, where would you put the flashbacks?
I would put them at C.
Where?
I would put them... Oh, this is so hard. But I would put them behind Rika, honestly. As much as I dislike Rika, she provides more context.
Yeah.
Overall.
Well, and like I said, the Hideaway flashbacks was to set up Damon's story. Yeah. And when the book is about someone else, that's a problem. When the main character is taking a backseat to set up the next male main character, that's an issue. Or
the female main character is even put down to prop up
another female main character. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so, oh God. Michael, Rika, Kai, and Banks, the pajama party.
I think that's a D. Yes, thank you.
But is it before the sauna or after?
It's after. The sauna's worse.
Yeah, because this one, they kept their own parts to their people.
Yeah. The sauna's worse.
Okay, and then Hideaway as a whole.
I would put it as a B. Here's my problem with Hideaway, is if you take this book, which has a brother-sister dynamic like Banks and Damon, which is incredibly important to the story, and you compare it to another popular series, Rena Kent's, put God of Pain. You have Annika and Jeremy, brother-sister dynamic. Very similar vibes. However, I think the execution of it is way better in Rena Kent's book than it is here, because it shows the importance of that sibling bond, where Annika actually chooses her brother over the main male character here, and it stated how important that choice was, right?
Right.
Whereas here, you get really Banks siding with Rika and Kai and them, which was a big problem for me, because while Damon was obsessive and possessive over her, he truly went through a lot to protect her and put himself on the line a lot of the time for her, and I feel like that is overlooked in this story.
Right.
And then you also have where, in my opinion, this is not a Banks and Kai book. This is a Erica, Damon, it's an everybody else book. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, we said B, but do we put it after Kai? Just because, like, I really, like I said, at the end of the day, it's a good story. It moves in the right direction, but it just does not do service to the main characters. Well, it does for Banks, I guess, but not Kai.
Even then, it still drops.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put it after.
Yeah.
Kai. Okay. We already ranked Damon, which I feel is appropriate. Winter. Do we put Winter above Banks?
No, not in my opinion. Yeah, I think she goes after Banks.
Okay.
I think Banks is still a better female main character than Winter. Just because there are instances in the book where Winter really bothers me with her indecisiveness and what she tends to really harp on in Kill Switch. I'm like, really, this is the hill we're choosing to die on, baby girl? Like,
yeah,
this
that's
is the
true.
hill? Like,
yeah.
So I would put her... Banks is still a better female main character, in my opinion.
Okay. The Kill Switch flashbacks.
I I love baby Damon, and I love Damon connecting with Winter here. I mean, you have the scene where she falls out, she loses her eyesight. You have the fountain scene. You also have, in my opinion, the most traumatic flashback scenes with Damon and his mom, his backstory. I think they're the most important flashbacks in the series, in my opinion. I would put them at A. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I would put them above Winter. I think overall they're incredibly important to the story. But you give me your thoughts.
I don't know if I'd put him above Winter, just because I feel like there were some flashbacks that dragged on a bit. Because, we had a lot in her freshman year. Mm-hmm. I feel like some of those dragged for just a little bit. That's why I love the Kill Switch flashbacks, I do, but that's why I don't know about putting above Winter. Okay,
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I'll concede. I can't argue on every point, I guess.
All right.
I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
Damon, Winter, and Will in, the basement cave area of Michael and Rika's house.
How do I word this?
Well, first of all, okay, this takes us back to the parallel of Michael, Rika, and Kai, but this one made more sense.
This works for me.
Because, for one, Penelope set this up in the same way that the third party is completely alone and broken.
Yeah. I think it's done much better here, and you have Damon putting that boundary, and Will respecting that boundary, but you also then have the emotional connection with Will and Damon.
Yes.
Which is so important.
Yes.
I think this is a B.
I was gonna say a B too. Yeah. Now I didn't include it, but I would actually put it at A. Is Damon and Will in the pool house?
I was gonna say, why is it Damon and Will in the pool house?
Because I put group scenes.
Oh, that would be an A for sure for me, because I love that scene.
All right, and Kill Switch overall.
Kill Switch is my second favorite book overall in the series. I would put it. It's very, very hard. I think that the opening, and we talked about this on our last.
The opening is great.
The opening is the best in the series.
Yeah.
It's towards the end, which actually seems to be a kind of a theme in these books, towards the end where it kind of starts to fall off for me.
Yeah.
But do I put it at... I have a hard time putting it S. I don't know. Let me hear your thoughts.
You could put it at A above Banks.
Let's do that.
Okay, yeah.
Banks doesn't want to leave.
There we go. That's on par for her.
Get out of here, Banks. Especially if she doesn't want to concede to David. She's like, nah,
Okay, now we'll take a little detour to the novella Conclave. And like I said, this was a novella that was set up to discuss why Will Grayson went missing. So basically, this is also where the series gets kind of confusing in the timeline, because Corrupt, Hideaway, and Kill Switch all take place within 1 year of each other.
Yeah.
And then you find out in Nightfall, Will's been missing for a few years. It's really weird trying to pinpoint all that, but Conclave is supposed to explain a lot of that, but instead you get 75% of the book from Rika's POV, and her and Michael are fighting about a problem within themselves.
This is a D. This is completely useless to me, because you could have taken an extra chapter of this and put it into the beginning of Nightfall to explain why Will is at Blackchurch, and it would have been fine. This was another Rika Michael show, and I'm sorry, but after I have 3 books of them being a happy couple, I don't want to read a novella of them fighting. They're already a settled and happy couple, in my opinion. Also, this gets a D, all on its own, for the Alex and necklace scene. That bitch saying that she's waiting for Will to come back to put that fucking necklace on her when that necklace belongs to Emory Scott. You bitch. This is a D. Actually, if you could throw this in the dumpster, if you could throw this in the fucking dumpster, I would throw it in the dumpster. I this is completely...
I am putting it above the group scenes, though, because the Damon POV was great. You have him in winter, they're having another baby, you even get, like, a bonus part at the end of when they had their first baby. The Damon stuff was great!
You could take those out, put it into a bonus chapter at the beginning of Nightfall, and it would have been better. We didn't need all this extra shit.
No, like I said, it was just an excuse to give more Rika.
Yeah, and
but I mean,
it triggers me so hard.
It's like I said, it's fine because this is Penelope's world. She wrote it, okay?
Yeah, but I'm allowed to rank it where
I'm gonna rank it how I want. So
it's my ranking system.
All right.
She's got a different ranking system than us. That's for sure.
For sure. Okay, so we have already ranked William Aaron Payne Grayson III as superior, as he should be. Emory Scott. Where do we want to put her?
Emory Scott goes... Oof. This is above Damon to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I love Emory Scott. She is the best written female main character of the series. She is the most fleshed out. She stands on her own as an individual character and in her own story. I love Emory Scott.
Yeah.
The scenes with her saying these wannabe gangsters, thank you. Thank you to have a normal reaction to these, like why are people frothing over the mouth for these guys? Like, this is insane. She has the best.
Emory was just different to me because, like, with Rika, Banks, and even Winter, I feel like they all had something to prove. Mm-hmm. Which for Winter is fair. You know, she's discredited a lot, but Emory was literally just trying to graduate and leave.
Yeah.
You know?
Emory literally just wanted to focus on herself. She was like, I want a better life for myself. I want to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And I want to do better. I want better for myself. She is the most relatable female main character.
Right. That's what I'm saying is she's not sitting here trying to be mayor and take over all these businesses and
running a whole prostitution.
Yeah, and also, you know, I mentioned this in the Nightfall Live. Emory, she also, unlike the other three, she does not come from wealth. Because even though Banks was hiding, she still was hiding in a fucking palace, okay?
Yeah, must be nice.
Emory has no money, and the person that has the money is holding all this power over her and abusing her. The only person she loves and cares for is her grandmother, who is going to die at any moment, and her brother, the person abusing her, holds that power over her. So I just find Emory Scott to be such a fascinating character. The first time I read Nightfall, my grandmother was actually on her deathbed. I took care of her full-time during COVID, so, like, everything Emory described about her grandma being in bed and checking the monitors, like, that all resonated with me. And so I love Emory. She's top 3 FMC for me.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. We're such grandma girls, so both of us relate. So
yes.
So I love Emory Scott.
100%. The Nightfall flashbacks.
I think they're the best flashbacks in the entire series.
I said this we talked a lot on our live last week, if you guys want to go check this out, but I think if you put just the Nightfall flashbacks in a book, I would read it over and over. It is
6
perfect.
6 star.
It is absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
and
agree.
I have said this before, I would rate Nightfall so much higher if it was consecutive, like if it was perfect all the way through. But the present day, I just have a hard time. But those flashbacks, going back to what I said at the beginning of this episode, Penelope is showing and not telling.
Yeah.
And that yearning, just those subtle little moments, oh my god. I mean, even this go around, this reread, I'd already read it before, but I would just read a passage and I'd have to put it down going, oh my god, the things he's doing. So yeah, just absolutely perfect. Do we put it above Damon?
I would. We're such Nightfall girlies.
We are.
We're
These flashbacks are so perfect, though. They're so perfect.
I think Kill Switch's flashbacks are better for the story overall, for like the Four Horsemen and everything, but a better written for the couple and book.
Oh, okay. Boys of Tommen time. Ready? Okay, so we've compared Will to Hughie and Joey, right? But if you want to take those flashbacks and the story, that's where you're going to get Johnny and Shannon. Because you're going to get a girl who is getting so abused at home, but is hiding it, and then you're going to have a guy who wants to be the hero, who is begging, tell me what's wrong, tell me who I need to take care of.
Do you know I would harm anyone for you. I would do anything to protect you.
I mean, Johnny pretty much said that crap too, so...
Ooh, Will Grace. Ooh.
Yes.
Love him.
You know, Liv, after talking to, I think I'm going to have to start giving a little bit more love and appreciation to Johnny Kavanaugh. I have in the past,
actually, now that I talked about it, I'm like, wait a minute.
Johnny Shannon Week, we are participating, okay? Yes, I want to let's Johnny Shannon, yes. Okay.
Actually, if we go back, the parallels, we parallel Hughie with Will, but I think we could also do all three of them.
That's what I'm saying, because I think if you take the personality, and you have Hugh, Joey, and a little bit of Johnny, because Johnny's got that huge hero complex. And I mean, Will is out loud begging. The same as Johnny. Johnny's following her in the hallways. What is going on? Please tell me. And that's what's happening here.
Yeah, it's so good. Oof.
Yes. So good. Okay, so we have two group scenes to go here. So we have Will, Emory, Aiden, Alex in Blackchurch. I'll just let you do the talking here. I'm going to reapply my lip gloss.
I have never seen an author almost really destroy a couple the way Penelope does in this group scene. Absolutely disgusting. Okay, this doesn't even go on the ranking. It goes in the trash, okay? Having Aiden look at Alex and say, call his name, and the fucking bitch does it, while Emory and Will are right there, and you want me to root for Emory and Will? Penelope almost destroyed the entire book with that one fucking scene. I hate this scene. It's unnecessary. It's destructive to the main couple in the series. So trash. I hate it. I hate it.
I've got it in the last place you can put it.
Good.
Okay, then we have everyone minus Damon and Winter in the train.
Hate this scene too. I hate this scene as well, because you're telling me that Emory has to sleep with Alex to show that she's part of the group? Get the fuck out of here. I hate this scene too. Both of them are bottom tier, though some of the worst moments in this entire series. Like, I don't like that. No. And it's an excuse for her to have a female on female scene. This should have been Winter, Damon, Emory, Will. That's what this should have been. But to prop up a character that is not getting a book and that I don't give a fuck in somebody else's books, you're disgusting. No, get the fuck out of here. I'm irritated. I'm irritated just thinking about these scenes because it honestly almost ruins the book for me. Those two scenes, I cannot reread. They almost destroy what she attempted to build up here.
This takes me back to the flashbacks being so perfect. So I've talked about this in lives too. Here is my problem with Will and Emory, is you have Will being set up of being completely broken, and as the years are going by and his friends are getting settled down and happy, he's just getting more and more miserable, right? You have Alex being built up from book one as the person who's slowly putting him back together. So in a lot of readers' eyes, you think, oh, okay, because you've seen this trope before, right? Is somebody wronged somebody in the past, somebody else puts them back together in the future. Mm-hmm. So when that didn't happen, it's like, why have we built up this character so much? Because it gave Emory a back seat in her own story. That's why the flashbacks to me are so superior, because in the present day, you focus on Will and Emory's story for about 70% of the book. Once 70% passes and they get rescued at Blackchurch, it's over for them. They're in the background again.
Yeah. Everyone else is propped up before, and that bothers me so much about this book. So like I said, it almost ruins the entire book. And then you want to tell me that I don't understand how we were even propping up Alex and Will when it is said in here for Will Grayson's, he's never loved Alex. He could never love her because she's an enabler. He was never sober with Alex, not once.
No.
So you cannot tell me that she was putting him back together because he was on drugs or on alcohol the entire time he was with her. The only person who made him want to get off of those and be a better man was Emory Scott. And he says that in his own words, but then it's not shown in the present day. Because then he goes off and runs Alex up to his bedroom when Alex first shows up, right? Allows Alex to physically assault Emory. Really allows Emory to kind of, take a backseat to Alex once Alex shows up here. I fucking hate it. I could rant about that bitch all day long.
We have to get to that in a minute. But I did forget another scene. Ooh. Will, Damon, and Emory watches in the school.
Oh, God. Oh, yes. Oh, I love that scene.
I would put it above Damon, Winter, and Will.
I would too.
Because okay, so this is a flashback one. And this is basically, oh my god, I'm gonna ramble on about these fucking flashbacks because they're just... Okay, so basically, after Will thinks he's gotten Emory, she basically pushes him away and he looks at her and says, "Why are you so mean?"
Oh.
Guys, it kills me. It kills me. So he has a really bad day. And he is drinking, and through a series of events, Damon and Emory end up together because she helps him bury his mother. Yeah. And so he takes her to the school so they can shower it off, and Will sees them, and so he's thinking, oh, she pushed me away because she likes him, and Damon flat out tells Emory, he is in love with you. He's never going to stop loving you. Leave him because you're going to just keep her. He tells her. And he even says, fuck me. If you want something to play with,
I'll give it to you.
I'll give it to you, but I'm not. But I'm not going to allow you to hurt him. And so they come out of the shower, and Will is just like, you touched her. What's going on? And Damon's just like, you are drunk. And then Will and Damon have hooked up. And so this was them doing it. And Damon's like, show her how you can be. And
Emory's into it.
She was
She doesn't
into
shame
it.
Will. She doesn't shame. She's not like, no. She's
and
like.
See, so this is like, so this one and like the Will and Damon and Winter in the basement thing, cave. Those I feel like are necessary group sex scenes. I feel like that's weird to say. Yep. Like when is a group sex scene necessary to the plot? But I feel like this, yes, it fits. Whereas the other ones, Penelope was literally writing each book and goes, okay, I need my group sex scene.
Yeah.
You know? It just doesn't like, some of them don't feel natural. Whereas this one was so on par to Damon and Will's characters.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yes. Okay, so Nightfall as a whole. Oh wait, where were we putting? I'm putting it above Winter. Damon.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so Nightfall as a whole. We've been discussing this. We have troubles with this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Nightfall is my favorite book of the series. But it is arguably also my most controversial book of the series because I have because I love it so much, the parts of it that I don't like, I feel with my whole chest, right?
Yeah. I just felt betrayed because as a Will fan and who was waiting for this book, and then you get these flashbacks, and like I said, the beginning of this book is amazing. I felt so cheated.
Yeah, I agree. It's just a bummer because if you take out Alex and Aiden, and this would be a 6-star read for me. It really would. But the second that they're rescued at Black Church, the second Alex comes into the scene at Black Church, the main couple takes a backseat.
Yeah.
Their storyline is completely
it's gone.
Null
it's
and void.
Done.
Yeah. And I have such a problem with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially because it's then revealed that Will and Emery's first time back together, they were being watched. So it just, yeah, it took it all away.
And he doesn't
do anything.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything. But then he expects Emory to come when he calls her? Please, give me a break, Will. Please.
Well, okay, so real quick.
Yeah.
Adding her was just not necessary. No. So here is also what I'm going to say about Alex Palmer. Because here, guys, I am allowed to criticize, right? As we all know, like, especially like in the Boys of Tommen fandom. I have an issue when you have a series where you have a core group of characters that are the main characters, right? They all have their books, their stories. Alex didn't even go to school with them. She didn't live in Thunder Bay. She was never part of those Devil's Night flashbacks. So why was she so important to the story? It's always bothered me. It has always bothered me.
She's not important to the story, but we're told that she is.
But that's what I'm saying is, why is she important? Like, why? It's
not shown. And what's shown is that she's an inconvenience and takes away from the overall story that Penelope tries to tell.
Right, because to me, in my POV, I don't know about like you, like when I'm reading Corrupt, I feel like Alex was only introduced so that Rika had some kind of female companionship.
Correct.
Because she lived in the building and she was revealed to go to school. It was like, oh, okay, here's some chick she can talk to. But then when it was like Alex is being included in business decisions, when Alex was in the delivery room for Winter.
The necklace, you guys, the necklace scene in Conclave, where she's like, I'll wait for Will to put it on me. It ruins what you tried to build up. Because the story is not Alex and fucking Aiden in here. The story is Rika and Michael, Kai and Banks, Damon and Winter, and Emory and Will. That is your story. Mm-hmm. Why are you adding in a person who is detracting from those? That's what she does. She takes away from them. Mm-hmm. She makes them look not as important. That is a problem.
Yeah, and the end of Nightfall is basically everybody's wrap-up, which I have a problem with. I find the quadruple wedding to be one of the cringiest things I have ever read about. And first of all, Kai and Banks were already married. So it just bothered me.
David and Witch already have 20 kids at this point. Like, why do we have to have a whole group wedding scene? Once again, it takes away from the main couple of the book.
Yeah. And I've said this before, because there are so many series that have done this. Rena Kent did this. You know, if I understand wanting to wrap up all the characters, especially when you have a big series like this. Like, we've speculated that's how Chloe will wrap up Boys of Tommen, with some kind of big epilogue novella in everybody's POV. That's what should have happened. Instead of taking away from the characters where you're reading their book, because we already had a novella, right?
Yeah.
We had already had a novella, so it made no sense to me. It really didn't. So Nightfall to me is it's a mess. The first part, great. Flashbacks, top tier. I could read them over and over and over again. The rest of it,
even present day Will is
present day Will is a mess. Yeah. So because of the flashbacks, I'm still going to put it in A, but I don't think it should go above Kill Switch, because I think Kill Switch...
Oh, no.
I think Kill Switch overall flows better, whereas Nightfall does not.
I think Kill Switch does a better job focusing on the main couple.
Yes. So where...
And it's just so hard to say because I'm such a Nightfall girl. Both of us are.
We are.
We're very biased.
It hurts me
Nightfall.
To do this.
Yeah.
This really hurts me to do this, but like I said, it's just the ending of this series is rough.
Yeah.
It is really, really rough.
I think you nailed it on the head here. What I find Penelope struggled with the Devil's Night series, and I do understand this was written earlier, so she, like, every writer has their growing pains and whatnot. What she struggles to do here that I find other authors did Superior, Rena Kent with the Legacy of God series, and Chloe Walsh in the Boys of Tommen series, is giving the couples dedicated time in their own book while still sprinkling in like the groups, but it doesn't overshadow or overpower or detract from the main couple. And you get that several times in these books where these scenes that she's trying to sprinkle in or completely overshadow, and that's a problem. That is a massive flaw in this series for me.
Yep. Agreed.
So.
Absolutely agreed. So I did forget Aiden. I didn't mind Aiden. It's very clear. It's just very clear he was written in so Alex had closure.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Because you boosted Alex up this much that you had to give her closure. So you know what? I'll put him here.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Now you did not read this one, right?
I have not read.
Okay, so I will just give my thoughts on Fire Night. So Fire Night is an epilogue in the future. It's an epilogue novella, if you will. And this takes place. This is what I'm saying. So this takes place at Christmas, and once again, Will does take a backseat.
In a book called Fire Night? Okay.
So you get all of their POVs, and Will's is the shortest.
Oh my god. I'm
Yes.
glad I've never read this.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot. Okay, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this.
She means I'm gonna get triggered.
So, Devil's Night, we had the whole mess of Conclave in Rika's POV to establish that Rika could not have children, right?
That's why they adopted that 10-year-old girl that they found wandering the streets. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so...
But they're just allowed to randomly adopt. Cool, okay.
Yeah, okay, so Fire Night, guess who's pregnant?
You're joking.
Yeah, it's their miracle baby. Or no, like they've just had him. So it's a boy. Remember they named him after Alex and Will.
How once again, Penelope, what the fuck were you thinking? What the fuck were you thinking? In your epilogue, you're having a fucking kid named after Alex and Will? Alex is not a main player within the Four Horsemen. What the fuck are you doing? I'm able to critique these because there's so much potential within this story. That is what's so frustrating to me, is there's a gold mine sitting here. The execution just falls flat a lot of the times, and it's frustrating because I love a lot of these characters.
Right. Well, and that's why it makes me wonder, because we keep referencing this, right, Boys of Tommen, because there's so much negativity and discourse because Chloe has favorites, which is why I go back to, again, this is the author's work. They've created it. It's their world. They're allowed to have a favorite. But here we have two different instances, because with Chloe, we weren't introduced with Lizzie, right? It's a slow build-up, so the author can put in things in these books to build up their favorite character. Rika, we got right away, and then it was like Penelope couldn't let her go.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's not even... See, it doesn't even bother me, because we've had this discussion. It doesn't even bother me that Rika's her favorite. She's allowed to have her favorite.
Right.
What bothers me is that she then allows... Really... Look at where we ranked her. She allows characters like Alex to then come in and take away as well. Like, it's one thing to have Rika, take away from...
Because she's a main character.
She's a main character. But then to put in a background player like Alex who does the same exact thing.
Well, and from what I understand, because some information was dropped in our live last week, apparently this was fan service.
Yeah. That's a problem.
That's also a problem, because people have said this in the Boys of Tommen community too. Is when authors bend over to fan service, that's when you get issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the author didn't want it, and we don't know if Penelope didn't want to, but I'm thinking the fact that so many people asked for it means Penelope never really had it intentionally planned. I don't know when
Well, the
she
fact
got that idea.
From book 1, Corrupt, we get Emory being dropped. So you know.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like Alex was fine in Corrupt. Alex was just set up as this female companion, which is in a lot of books like this, right?
Yes.
Girl moves to town, she's being bullied, whatever. Here's a female for her to talk to.
That's what this should have stayed as. I would have much preferred Alex Palmer be the girl cheerleader here to befriend all of the females and side with all of the females here. But instead, she doesn't, and she ends up physically assaulting Emory, knowing Emory's past. That's a problem for me. If instead she would have been girl ganged, she's the cheerleader, which she's apparently such an independent female. She's all, I'm not like other girls, girl type of bullshit. If that's what she had been played up as, I would have much preferred her character. But instead, she does this complete, I'm now one of the horsemen. I'm now one of them. I deserve a necklace. And I'm going to assault Emory because she said something bad about Will. No. If she had been Emory's cheerleader, Winter's cheerleader, Banks' cheerleader, Rika's cheerleader, that would have been the perfect role for her. Bottom line.
For sure. No, for sure. So yeah, Fire Night, you got a lot of Rika and Michael. There is a lot with the kids though, and this is where a lot of people were like, Penelope, where's our second gen? Because Kai's son, because he's the oldest of the kids, is set up to be like, maybe Landon King?
Oh.
Almost?
Okay.
Is he the one that's really quiet, but just calculated and...
I don't know that Landon's quiet.
Well, like,
Landon's very cocky.
Which one is that? I get rid of
Eli? Maybe you're going Eli in the background?
Yeah. Because he doesn't talk to anybody. And and it's noted that the only person that he cares for is his youngest cousin, which is Damon's daughter.
That's Eli and Creighton. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so he just, like, they talk about, they're like, Kai, your son is really creepy. So it's really set up, and then Penelope was just like, nope, you're not getting a second gen.
But also so interesting because she can't really do a second gen because Rika's related to everyone.
Yeah, so I'm going to put it here.
Okay.
It was a nice little wrap-up. We got a lot of the kids, but Will and Emory are just, once again, thrown in the back.
I mean, our bias is show right here.
But yeah, as you can see, you guys, here is our lovely 2025 tier ranking. It was a fun reread. I had so much fun doing this because, like I said, we've really talked about our issues and our problems with this series, but it still is very, very near and dear to our heart. But I think that's why we get so frustrated, because Nightfall would just be so fucking perfect if it didn't have these flaws.
Yeah, and I think I think Penelope should be proud of a series that invokes this much emotion, that we care this much to be so frustrated when it's not perfect, that we can see the flaws and are like, it's almost right there. You have such a golden ticket right there, and it just falls off at the end. So the fact that she can invoke this much emotion with her characters, she should be proud about that in her story.
Yeah. So, no, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, I love it.
And I mean, I love Penelope's work. Credence is one of my favorite books of all time, so...
Yeah, I love Credence.
But yeah, this was... Like I said, this was just so much fun, and I love tier ranking just because you get a different idea. We kind of had to, like, kiki a little bit back and forth on it, but I feel like we got a good result. I'm happy with it.
I feel like overall...
I knew starting off, I knew exactly where Will and Alex were going to be positioned, so... Keeping them as far apart as they should be. Yes.
God. Ugh, God. And Emory right next to Will, where she should be.
Right? Okay, well, it is also Halloween as we are filming, and Halloween happens to be Hugh Biggs' birthday.
Happy birthday, Hughie!
Yes.
Happy birthday!
So we'll just talk a little bit of stuff here. Chloe did release some playlists and teasers and stuff, but we did have a full Hughie Lizzie episode that was published, so we talk a lot there. We did talk a lot about this in our Hizzy live show, so you can check that out too. So we'll just kind of, I guess, recap what we talked about.
I'm totally down for that. Yeah.
Okay.
We got mainly what we got yesterday playlist wise was Hughie Lizzie related, which makes sense. Number one, they're in the next book coming, and it's Hughie Lizzie week. This is his birthday. It's Halloween. That's Hughie Lizzie. So it 100% makes sense that most of the snippets we get are Hughie Lizzie related, and they were all mainly happy. Like, that's a shock, because a lot of the times she drops it, I'm like, damn, it's just depression. But the tone shift that she put out yesterday was very different than what we've been seeing.
I think she's feeling the love this week.
Yeah.
I really think, first of all, I think it's really cool when any kind of fandom does stuff like this. It's really, it shows love and dedication. I don't care what side you're on. Agreed. Dedicate yourself to your characters. I think that is so cool. And it inspired future weeks to come. There has been a Johnny Shannon week that's been announced on Twitter. They've got some really cool theming days planned. So Olivia and I I had always planned on celebrating Johnny Shannon week, that week of January. There's just so much, but I think it's really, really cool. And there's been so much fan art, and there's been so many posts and videos and just dedication, and I think Chloe's feeling the love, and so she wanted to share some of her own love too.
Yeah, I agree, and I love that, because when the Boys of Tommen fandom isn't a problem, you get weeks like this week within the Hughie Lizzie community, which is just fun.
Like, I'm having fun this week. I'm keeping to my side, and we're just we're sharing our snippets, we're sharing art. There's been no foul talk of other people unless their names are Mark or Pierce. It's just, it's been a fun week. It really, really has. Yeah.
I know that there has been some drama. I've stayed out of it because number one, I'm not going to let anyone bring me down on Hizzy week, to be honest with you. It's not going to get to me. If you want to rant and rave over a snippet because you apparently think you know how the book is going to go, that's your choice. Like, you do you, boo-boo. But I'm not even going to bring that energy over into my space this week, because it's been such a good week that I have no complaints.
Yeah, no. First of all, this is my favorite holiday. So just this combined with Hughie, Lizzie, it's been so much fun.
And Devil's Night.
And Devil's Night. Yeah, Devil's Night was yesterday. This is my Christmas, you guys.
Yeah, it's been a really, really good time, and I think you're 100% correct that Chloe has felt the love. Now, I really hope she has met that Halloween deadline, Chloe.
Yeah, because Halloween's almost over in Ireland.
Chloe, I really hope you met that deadline, boo.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from her today. She's not posted any of the snippets, so I don't know.
Let me just check if there's any updates.
I already checked. I already looked.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
I looked. She would have done it by now, because it's almost 3 o'clock our time. She would have. She's in bed if she's.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe not. But she's definitely not posting any playlists today. So
she's at Hugh Biggs' party.
She is.
I saw a few comments from some youngins saying, "Ew, he's that old," and it's like, doesn't this go against everything you guys have said about, oh my gosh, what am I going to do when I turn 18? I can't read this series anymore. But yet then you say he's too old. I don't understand you guys.
Why are the older women, we saw these comments yesterday, reading these books that are intended for young adults. They're not intended for young adults.
That was a mistake. That is why Blooms made a boo-boo and had to bring more editions. That's public knowledge. So.
Frustrating.
But anyway, negative aside, I'm just having fun this week. I really, really am, and I want to move it forward. Guys, I know December is Christmas, but I want to make a Joey Lynch dedication week.
Yeah.
For St. Joseph, okay?
For St. Joseph.
I do. The way you feel about Lizzie is the way I feel about Joey, okay? So I need a Joseph Theodore Lynch week. Okay.
Can I go on a little bit of a rant here on the people who are anti-Lizzie? Lizzie stans in particular, saying that we want to be Lizzie. Why the fuck would I want to be Lizzie? That bitch has the worst life ever. Why would I want to be her?
Well, okay. The only thing that her old money. That fascinates me. And her
I would like that. I would like that old
in
money.
the estate. Give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that. I can do everything else.
Her height. I would like to be tall like her.
You know, I don't. I'm
Really?
5'2". I love being short.
I don't.
I've always loved it. I don't know why.
My younger sister is 5'9". My older brother's 6'4". I'm 5'2".
My younger sister's taller than me. No, I've always liked being short. For one, it gave me a larger pool to shop through.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true too. A larger pool to shop through. I love it. Oh my god. Yeah, but no, we're not attempting to be these characters. I do not want to be her. I see myself in a lot of her characteristics, but I do not want to be. You're out of your mind.
Like I just went on for a few minutes earlier about how I see so much of myself in Emory. Do you think I want to be Emory? You think I want to be in that house with a brother pumping on me? No. No.
But we can see ourselves within these characters. Doesn't mean we want to be them.
Yeah, okay? No.
No. No. Good God. I do want to be Evangeline Fox from Once Upon a Broken Heart, though. That is the only character ever written that I'd be like, actually, I would like to be you.
No, you should do a Halloween costume for that, because, like, with the hair, you could get a pretty dress. Like,
I could do the pink.
It would be really pretty.
Yeah. I could. Mm-hmm. Next year. Okay, any other news or updates?
Well, we're going into November. Guys, we are full swing into holiday season, so we've got some fun things planned. We're about to enter our fourth wing era.
You guys, if you think I'm insufferable with Boys of Tommen, Ashley's gonna be like, this bitch needs to shut up.
So I've never read it. So what we decided to do was we decided to do a podcast for it, kind of bring a different take, because she's obviously very obsessed about it and I've never read it. So we'll read book one and then we kind of discuss. We thought maybe we could do an episode where she kind of discusses some theories and then I'll slide in after and she'll be like, Ashley, what were your thoughts? It's just, we have a lot of fun stuff. We're both not very big Christmas book people, like the cute Christmassy romances, so we're trying to find what we can give you for Christmas. That's why I'm like Joey Lynch week. Joey Lynch. Yes.
I like that. Or the dark, I told you, like the 12 Days of Dark Christmas.
Yeah, I have read a few dark Christmas romances that I really liked. Yeah, where they kidnap. I need a wife for Christmas.
I read one with the reindeer are men. That was really. I read that last year.
You might have to tell me that.
Yeah, you might. Really good. Yeah. I was like, ooh.
So maybe we should do like the Dark Nights of Christmas and then the Smutty Nights of Christmas or something too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I like it.
So we've got so much fun stuff planned, and we had a lot of feedback from our Hideaway Week episode. Seems like you guys want an episode of the Viper and Thor, so we have something planned. We have, trust me. I love Thor.
We listen to our audience.
Yes.
We listen to our audience.
Yeah, so if there are certain stuff you guys want us to talk about, send it to us.
Yeah. Drop a comment below. How have you guys enjoyed Lizzie Hughie Week? How do you feel about our ranking of The Devil's Night? Where do you
did you agree? If you're an Alex Palmer apologist, let us know. Give us your feelings. Give us your thoughts.
Try to convince me otherwise. It's not going to happen.
Every opinion is safe here. Yeah. Seriously, if I want to know the Alex Palmer
I want to hear.
I want to hear why. Yeah, I really do.
It's not going to convince me I'm not going to change my opinion.
But I would love
to hear yours.
I would love to get the perspective. I really would.
Yeah, for sure, I agree. Okay, well, keep a lookout for that, you guys. Thank you once again for joining us every week. We have hit over 1,000 on YouTube.
Yes.
We're so incredibly grateful. Please join our Discord. We're popping over there. Also on Spotify, we're over 300 at this point. You guys follow us on Instagram. We're always posting stuff there. We are so grateful and appreciative for our coven here.
Yeah.
And we just want to keep building this community up. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, guys.